Hello guys, welcome back to the Try Time podcast. This is episode 36. I'm Callum.
And I'm Matt, and well remembered, because let's face it, it's been 2 years. Where has the time gone?
I mean, 2 years and some as well. Like, it's not been, it's just, I've got no words for it really. But after 2 years, a big hiatus, we are officially back. This is the first podcast that you've seen.
This is the biggest reunion, only to be topped if One Direction get back together.
Yeah, which is not going to happen.
No, so this is officially the biggest thing to happen in the world in 2023. I'm sure everyone agrees with that.
We're back. We're better than ever. We've sorted his lives. We've sorted his lives out a bit.
Have we, or have we just got more of a mess?
We've probably got more in debt. We've both are now homeowners.
That's true. Yep. So please, everyone, watch this video. We could do with the money. I'm thinking of introducing a charity bucket in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, Patreon.
Put the Cash App details on. Patreon.
Patreon is coming soon.
Yep. RFL monetised. There we go.
But yeah, we're back, and we're back for good as well. We're not messing about. We've invested a lot of time and effort and a bit of money as well into making sure.
This is probably why we're in so much debt.
Probably, but we've made sure that the quality is going to be better. We've got good ideas, and we're getting stuff ready now, starting now, and then going into the new season. We'll be in the zone. We'll be going, and some of the content we've got should be really good.
And hopefully you'll see more than just us two. You might remember back at the start of the pandemic, we had our first actual known rugby league player make their way onto the Try Time podcast stage. Thanks again, Greg, for that one. I'm sure you're still watching. You've not forgotten about us after 2 years and moved to Whitehaven and God knows what else.
Being everywhere around the lower league since then. So we might have to get him back on, actually. We're going to come. Greg is getting a message off of me, and we're getting him back on to speak about his last few years.
But not just that, we're going to have some more people behind the mic, which is exciting because, take your pick, one of us might get booted off for a show. Depending which one of us you like more, depends on whether that's a good or bad thing. Yeah,
let us know down below who needs to go and why it definitely is Matthew for his
for a start, I think this alone puts you in prime target. What is the George Russell-y jacket that?
Let me just say, for the audio listeners, that is Matthew commenting about my Canada Goose G.
Oh yeah, I forgot we didn't go out, just YouTube. Hello Spotify, where have you been?
So yeah, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz.
Can you tell who does all this?
So yeah, see, Matthew just texted me out of my clothes, but I
just come and improve the quality of the actual presentation, and then I'll leave you to do the hard work.
But yeah, right. What's happened since we last did a podcast? Well, in the world of rugby league, a lot has happened.
Well, let's face it, Lee have got promoted, not got relegated. They're an entirely different club to what they were. That's a good point. These guys were Centurions when we last recorded a podcast. That is mad to think that Derek Beaumont has rebranded an entire team since we were away.
You got to think, the last time we uploaded on this channel...
Bradford was still in the Championship. Oh, wait, that's not changed.
But, you've got Lee with the Centurions. Joe Westerman were happily married. There's a lot of things that...
Newcastle existed.
Yeah, we are recording this on 2.5 weeks, 2.5 weeks sort of in advance.
Yeah. IMG rankings have just come out. England are one up in the international series against Tonga, so throw this right back to probably present day when we've just lost 2-1 after getting absolutely battered at Huddersfield and Headingley, which you won't hear this till after the third test, I don't think.
Yeah,
but we are at both those games, so they've already happened. Don't keep an eye out for us. But yeah, say hi if you did see us. Maybe.
So if anything's happened over the last few weeks and you're like, well, why is that not included here? Because we're going to speak today about some of the IMG rankings, if they have changed or something else has been said.
If Castleford have found more of the data was wrong.
Yeah, well, that's a big thing we're going to go on to. But if that changes and we don't speak about it, that's why, because we are literally recording this 2.5, sort of
weeks in advance. We're looking into the future and, come on, we're not... Do we look like fortune tellers?
I don't know. With that jumper on, you might do a bit.
Zoltan in the jacket right there. For all you audios, he's just flashed the Canada Goose.
No, I haven't. No, I haven't. That is a
You're gonna
lie.
have Stone Island next time. Gotta get the badge in somewhere.
No, I don't have any Stone Island stuff, sadly.
One of the guest presenters might, who we are potentially getting on the podcast. You will know who you are.
Yeah, we're gonna get in terms of the guest presenters, we're gonna get guests like the players that you know and stuff like that. We're gonna try and get them on, and we've got some that we had lined up from last time and stuff. But we're also gonna get some sort of like, I won't call them, they're like half host, half get like recurring guests. So if we've got a big talking point, we need someone else in. We've got a few of our sort of friends from around the rugby
and
league
we can
world.
actually say they will turn up because there's no guarantee the players will.
Yeah, they're reliable. They're reliable, and they'll add a different element. And yeah, I think that'll be good, and you should look forward to that. And the consistency of there'll be a podcast out every single Wednesday from now, when you're listening to this, for the foreseeable future, and there'll be a video on every Saturday. Whether it's we've got so many different ideas lined up. We've got some special ideas which are going to run throughout the season.
We've recorded 2 of them already, so you are guaranteed for us not going anywhere. In fact, I think you might have seen one of them already.
You've had this Tonga video.
One of them.
You've had your Tonga video this week just gone. If you haven't watched that, and this is the first time you knowing we're back, go watch that. And then for the next 2 Saturdays, you've got 2 really good videos coming up, which we have recorded.
Yeah,
today.
like you say, Tonga one already on the channel, so delete whichever is appropriate. Really good. We've won the international series. What a proud day to be an England Rugby League fan. Or how have we bottled it from being in front?
We're definitely going to bottle it, and we're going to
delete
be there
is
to watch.
appropriate. Remember.
We're going to be there. We're going to be there to watch it as well.
Yeah,
so.
watch. It won't be Leeds falling apart again this time.
Same stadium.
That's true. I'm used to disappointment in that ground. It can't get much worse. Harry Newman will be losing another game there. I better not say too much about that. He'll probably get very angry with me.
But yeah, I mean, as well, the first video we'll have uploaded, you'll see on the channel, is kind of like a bit of a teaser that we were coming back and stuff like that. Just want to give a shout out to the editor who did that as well.
Yeah, we went all the way to Sweden to get you the best possible editor for this, who then decided he wanted a lot of money and will not be appearing back on the channel. So thank you for your one and only contribution. It is appreciated. I apologise again that he sent you a Try Time podcast photo whilst drunk.
Yeah, well,
you don't need to know about what happened on that day. That was an interesting tour around Leeds for anyone who was unfortunate enough to come across us.
But yeah, sadly it didn't work out with that editor, just because it was just one of them things where he did this video for us, and that video is amazing, so go watch it.
But we're cheapskates ultimately. We're both from Yorkshire. What did you really expect?
Yeah, so it just didn't work out, but that's fine. We've got like I've said, we've invested and stuff into the editing, into that sort of side of it, so now it is going to be better, and I hope you notice a difference. Let us know if you did, because if you watched us before and you're coming back to us 2 years later and you can see the difference, then let us know. If you can't, let us know as well. Let us know it's still crap. And
if you didn't watch us before, check out some of the short videos we did in the past, because some of them will probably be quite interesting. If nothing else, to just laugh at all the horrendously wrong predictions we've both made.
Yeah, but there's some timeless videos there, you know.
I'm pretty sure we even had one of why Bradford should have gone back into Super League.
Yeah, we did.
Those were dark days. So before Callum gets a little bit too excited talking about Bradford and brings up that cup game again, let's head into the topic of the day, which is the IMG rankings. They've dominated the headlines across the rugby league world. Many statements from clubs about it. Cass fans are absolutely crying that the river's nearly burst its banks again. Keighley are in their favourite mood because they can bash IMG. And what else is there really to know? There's a few shocks and surprises, I think, in there.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say we could go through every team, but we're not going to do that.
We have got a bigger podcast coming up regarding the full IMG more wide situation in terms of league structure, who should be in Super League. You know, this was all planned prior to these rankings coming out today, which I think have come as a bit of a shock, really, that we've got them this early.
Yeah, it's weird, the timing of them as well. I know just after the season, it is weird, but and the provisional, they're going to change, aren't they?
There's a whole year before these actually come into effect, and nobody quite knows how many points you can gain in a single, or lose for that matter, over a single campaign. I mean, in terms of the big shocks on there, what jump out to me? London, the lowest ranked B team of them all, despite getting promotion to the top flight, which I don't know about you, I think that's potentially a very good move for Super League, which you may or may not hear something about that on the podcast in the future. Keep an eye out. Also, Lee being behind Wakefield after a historic Wembley win, top 4 finish.
Yeah,
I know it's one season in the top flight, but for all the effort and the work that's gone into rebranding that club, we were saying literally at the start they were an entirely different club when we last recorded a podcast, and yet they're behind Wakefield, whose life mission for the last 10 years has literally been cling on. I mean, Christ, the number of times somebody said just pull the plug is ridiculous, but yet somehow they keep fighting. Up until last season, is that maybe a benefit in disguise for them? It gives them a bit more security, and the fact they're in 11th could be a good spot for them.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of Wakefield, I think they should be happy with this.
I mean, what jumped out to you other than those two as
the London one, I just want to touch. It's weird how, they're an expansion team, so I feel like they should get some sort of allowance, like it looks like a team like Newcastle has. I mean, Newcastle at the minute don't have a club. As the time of recording, they do not have a club.
Which, for the avoidance of doubt, we think they've found a buyer. There's talks to bring it back. Maybe it's a year out and they are included in the final IMG League structure. I don't quite know what the plan is there with that. But
it's strange
35 clubs is a very odd number to fit in.
Yeah, it's weird. There's no, you can't. It's going to be hard.
We almost need another team.
But
or
no
Newcastle
money.
Don't come back, which is the sadder of the two options. And actually, it would be a real shame.
Yeah, it's such a. I mean, just looking at them now, it's such. I knew London would be outside of the Super League places, but I didn't think they'd be that far out. I thought
they're
they'd be
almost in League One territory.
Yeah, I thought they'd be around the sort of 16, 17 mark.
I mean, there's a few like that. Fax in 20th. That's an odd one to me. They've historically been in and around the playoff positions in the Championship. They seem to be a well-run club at surface level. They've definitely got a ground that's good enough for Super League. Okay, they might not be the most cash-rich club there, but 20th, really?
I think
behind a club that's gone bust.
Yeah, I think a lot of it is, the behind-the-scenes stuff that we don't see, whether it's finances, you don't know the club turnover and things like that.
I don't, but I think potentially one of the other big shocks here, actually, which I've pulled the rankings up on mine to have a look. And it's Super League London that, okay, they've just got promoted, but they were literally brought back in and relegated the year, 2 seasons ago?
2 or 3 seasons ago, yeah.
Because it was around the time Toronto had gone.
Yeah, we're around that sort of
bust, and it was, do we bring London back? And
yeah, it were
what
all
we're touching earlier on the whole video, which club should get the Super League spot.
Yeah, it were around that sort of. Time Lee went up to about 3 years ago.
Yeah, and they've been ranked lower than a Doncaster team that have only just got out of League One.
Yeah, after a lot of years of trying.
Again, I like Doncaster. I think it's
well-run club, definitely.
Well-run club.
Definitely a well-run club.
By that I mean the club, not necessarily the town, but just clarifying that for the people of Doncaster who, I don't know, some of you are a bit heathen. How long have we been going? 15 minutes and I've already offended somebody. Welcome back to the podcast, everybody. But yeah, how are they above London? I'm not going to claim to understand this, because clearly some boffin in an office far above what we're doing has the most random spreadsheet in the world. And
yeah, too many numbers. And too many averages and everything. And
I mean, there's an argument here, the guidelines aren't transparent enough, because if I'm sat there in the London Broncos boardroom thinking, why am I 24th behind a League One club? I'm scratching my head here.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, they've got fewer points than they've had home grounds in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I've just noticed actually another one which you haven't noticed yet, another big shock to me.
Oh, let me see if I can find it before you.
Right, go on. I've got something I wanted to say anyway.
I mean, this is either going to be you bashing Keithley down in 30th.
No. You just you look and think. Right. So I think we've got to say the 7A clubs are all rightly should be at the A clubs. Like, that is absolutely fine.
Do you want to touch on which hole's ahead of the other and start the entire war in East Yorkshire?
I think based on the last few years, this is right. They're close, but KR is doing good stuff off of the pitch and on the pitch. So fair play.
Right. So I've had a look through these rankings. Shock number 3. Where are you going?
So I think it's a shock that Whitehaven are the lowest of the 3 Cumbrian teams. And I get Barrow, I get why they're where they are. They do a lot off of the pitch, and an away day there is a really good experience. And the performance on the pitch has been good, barring this past season. But Whitehaven have had 2 really good seasons in Championship. They're up there. They feel like a safe Championship club. They just do the job. I just don't see how they're below Workington, who are obviously in League One. But that is speaking kind of solely on,
I guess,
on performance, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Obviously, we went Workington away a few years back, which was one of the most interesting supporters coaches I have ever been on in my life. Boys, there's some stories from that one that will probably get us kicked off YouTube.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, there's
Let's just say, for a very culturally diverse city that Bradford is, there's some very 1960s ideology in there, and I will leave you to interpret what else has gone.
There were a few cans of a red stripe getting
It
thrown
was
around.
Interesting. This was at 8 in the morning as well, by the way. So we had not just anything; we had a drunk racism on the coach.
Yeah, it wasn't great.
It was fabulous.
It was an experience.
Honestly, I'm glad more places in the country are a lot better behaved. Because I could not cope having that on a daily basis.
Yeah, it wasn't great. But yeah, I just think Whitehaven should be higher than them. But maybe that. I mean, Whitehaven.
Is this the community outreach because Greg came to support us on the channel?
Maybe. But Whitehaven and Workington fans, you let me know, and anyone else as well. Like, what do you guys think who might know more about the way the clubs are run? And fan bases for me always seem the same. They always sort of travel the same, and you always bring a few.
Maybe it's based on who's got the biggest Tesco nearby.
I mean, Workington definitely win that because we spent a decent time exploring.
There's not much else to do, is there, in Workington other than go to Tesco?
No,
let's be honest.
We found that out there. A few things. We'll probably found 3 things out at Workington away. One of them was there's some dodgy racism going on in this coach, and I'm slapped.
I'm interested to see where you're going because
I'm slapped in the back of the head with a can of red stripe. Second one is massive Tesco, and that there's literally nothing to do apart from go to this Tesco.
Yeah.
Number 3 is you can get into a Championship rugby game as a what were it 2 seasons ago?
When you bought under 16 tickets to pay a fiver.
We were 21 and 22 at the time, and we got in as 16-year-olds.
I will admit it was an interrogation by a woman that, frankly, and I don't blame her, was probably not paid enough by the club to actually be that bothered.
Yeah, but it were tough times, I think. Financially at that point, that we had to go on.
We didn't even have debt at this point.
No, we didn't.
And
we didn't know what debt were at that point.
Can I just point out, I did not acquire these tickets. I am placing the blame solely at your door for that one.
You also didn't pay for them because they were free, so.
Well, exactly. That's the only reason. So the entire away day cost us the fee of the racist supporters coach,
which were like 20 quid.
We're like 10 each or something like that.
It wasn't expensive. It's gone up loads now since all cost of living stuff. But
looks like we're driving to some of the away days this year.
Well, yeah, hopefully we'll get over there because it is. Yeah, to be fair, I love going up to Cumbria, whether it's to Barrow, Workington, or Whitehaven, whoever it is. It's always a good experience. So all 3 of them are really nice grounds that I do enjoy. The different sort of experiences that you don't necessarily get on M62.
No, I'd agree with that. And
and I do like it.
It's a damn sight cheaper than going to Catalan for it.
Yeah, or Toulouse.
Well, we might have both of them.
Well, that's the thing. We're looking at the IMG. That's what I can get. Toulouse are higher, based on obviously I know they've got quite a big fan base and it's the French expansion, But that's why I don't get the London thing. We're going back to London, I know, but I think that is the biggest shock. It's the biggest talking point, realistically.
And I think we'll probably park that idea until we do the more league structure when, I don't know, maybe we'll get through what we would do with our Super League if we were in charge.
Yeah, how many teams in the league, what teams, and what...
Probably who would have the better Super League out of us too, because we will no doubt have some differences along the way.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
So yeah, let's park that one. And I think in general, in terms of getting you back into the field of the mainstream podcast, probably park this entire episode here, which at 21 minutes is very short for a main pod. Obviously, we're very rusty after 2 years, which I'd like to think we've scrubbed most of that off in the outtakes that you're not going to see.
Yeah.
However, what hasn't lost its rust is the technology, and GarageBand is not our friend. So...
yeah, we've got some playing around to do with it at the minute.
We've got some system overloads, which is, you know, fair play. Callum, I'll tell you now, you've already done a great job on editing to even manage to cobble a video out of this, because it has made probably your life as hard as it could have been to jump back in and do this. So as much as I will laugh and a joke about it, good work for getting something from this session, because...
yeah, no, it's to be expected. I mean, we haven't recorded and stuff. This is his first recording session. We've done a couple of videos that you'll see in the future.
We've also never used GarageBand for this, and by the looks of it, we might never again.
Yeah, no, it's going to be fine. We've just got a few things that we need to iron out. But you've got a comprehensive podcast. I know it's only sort of going to be, you know, under 25 minutes. But at the end of the day,
as long as it don't
we're
give
back
up midway through one of my passionate rants that we know we've all come to love on this show.
yeah, well, that's true. What did I say at the start about you've got to pick who's not going to be on the podcast anymore when we start getting the regular guests on?
Yeah.
So you can let us know, and I know what.
Everyone loves my
Where did
rants.
wait, Doncaster? So if you're from Doncaster, I know what you're going to say after what you said today.
Look, they love Jeremy Clarkson. He punched somebody over a steak allegedly. So you know, they can take a good bit of back and forth from Doncaster.
Right. Well, if you can give a good bit of back and forth, then give a bit back to him. I want to see that in the comments. I want to see.
I watch Leeds every week. That's enough punishment, surely.
But yeah, I think we'll stop it there. And then next week, do you want to preview what we've got coming next week on podcast?
Yep, so next week, we touched on it earlier, going back to Callum's favourite topic at the moment of let's have London in Super League. That's coming up on Saturday, I believe.
Yep.
We'll have finished crying / got over the hangover from the success / failure in the international test by then. Honestly, if I have to caveat this much in an episode again, I'm going to go insane because I'm already losing it.
Yeah, I'm going to say, with it being pre-season, we are going to be like recording quite a bit in advance.
And what fun do we have to look forward to next Saturday?
Well,
next Saturday, next Wednesday even.
Next Wednesday, we've got the 2023 alternative. I can't even say
Rugby
that
League
word.
alternate awards.
You know it better than me. I can't say that word.
At the end of the day, we're not wearing a tux. This is not a professional show. However, yeah, join us for all that's not very great and good in Rugby League.
Yeah, some
where
funny
you can
awards.
Expect some absolutely terrible puns along the way.
Yeah, definitely. But it'll be a good fun. It'll be a light-hearted one that it'll definitely be longer than 25 minutes.
And we probably will get demonetised. Not that we get enough views to get paid for this anyway. But it's probably a good job given some of the jokes that we've got scripted in there because...
Yeah.
We're not talking Bradford supporter levels here, but, you know, we're definitely talking YouTube algorithm might not like us if we did this regularly.
Yeah, definitely.
So
definitely some on the
stick around
nose
for
stuff.
a riskier show, guys. It'll be worth it.
So yeah, that's next week, and we'll see you on Saturday for the London vid.
See you then. Roll the red carpet out.